Today, we will be showing you how to install Boost Auto Parts sports performance mirrors onto your 2015 to 2019 GM truck. Once installed, these mirrors add the signal on glass, puddle light, and power fold features to your truck. At the time of filming this video, this procedure applies to 2014 to 2018 1500 Silverados and Sierras, as well as 2015 to 2019 2500 and 3500 Silverados and Sierras. For exact fitment, please visit our website at boostautoparts.com. On the driver's side door panel, use a trim removal tool to remove the armrest trim cover. Locate this opening in the front of the door panel armrest, and using a 7mm socket, remove the bolt. Opening the door handle, use a pick to remove the square trim panel. Unscrew the 7mm bolt from behind the door handle. Use a pick to remove the trim panel in the door grab. Unscrew the two 7mm bolts in the door grab. Remove the two 7mm bolts at the bottom of the door panel. While being aware of the door lock lever, use a trim removal tool to pry around the door panel, releasing the trim clips holding the door panel to the door. Press down on the locking tab to the door handle cable. Pull back on the tab and rotate the cable to remove it from the door handle. Undo the red connector lock on the connector by the speaker hole and pull the gray latch to 90 degrees. Then pull the connector out to disconnect the door panel from the door. Using a trim removal tool, remove the two trim clips holding the window trim piece in place. Remove the window trim piece from the door. Unplug the mirror connector from the door harness. While supporting the mirror, unscrew the 3 or 4 10mm nuts holding the mirror into place. Remove the mirror from the truck. Install your new Boost Auto Parts mirror onto the truck. Make sure to pull the wiring harness through, being careful not to pinch it. While supporting the mirror, screw in the 3 10mm nuts securing the mirror to the truck. Complete this up to this point on the passenger side. The procedure is the same. If you did not originally have small power folding mirrors, we will now be showing how to install Boost Auto Parts modified door harness. If you originally had power folding small mirrors, please reinstall your door panels as your installation is now complete.
Now to remove this door jamb connector, there's a little plastic latch at the top that holds it on. So begin by just depressing down with a flathead screwdriver, and that will release that. You can go ahead and pull it back. And then to release this connector from the door jamb, there's a little pink latch. You just need to slide that back 90 degrees. And then once it's 90 degrees back, the connector will just unplug from the door jamb. Remove the door speaker. There's just one 7mm bolt holding it on. And then you can just kind of pull back on it. It may be a little bit sticky. If it is, you can take a flathead screwdriver, just kind of break it loose a little bit. And once it comes, just pull straight up. That will show on the back. There's a connector right over here. So just go ahead and depress the latch, and the connector will come undone. Release the harness with the trim clip and set the speaker to the side. Unplug the mirror connector by depressing the latch. Then release this from the door, utilizing a trim tool. And push this grommet down into the door. And we're just going to bring these connectors down through the speaker hole to work with so we can modify them. Push this rubber door boot in over here into the door itself. Push it into the door. And then push the entire connector down into the door itself as well. And you're just going to want to pull that straight down out here.
Shown here is the Boost Auto Parts modified door harness kit being installed with the harness in the door. You can see we are simply time-lapsing it here to show you that it can be done in the door. However, we will show it to you on the bench just for purposes of videoing. Included here is a wiring diagram that you can screenshot and print out. Locate the black mirror mating connector that the mirror is originally plugged into and pull the tape back a little bit from it. That way you can get access to the cavities. Unlock the white latch on the black mirror mating connector. You can use a 90-degree pick. There's two little cutouts. You can just pry up on it, and that white latch will come up just a hair. If you're having issues getting it to come up, you can go in through one of the empty slots and just pry up, and that will get the white lock to pop up. You can see this is with the white lock unlocked. The white lock is not fully removed, it just comes down slightly. The modified door harness kit does come with everything for both sides. In this case, we just have one side laid out on the bench here. You will not use the white wire, so begin by removing it from the loom and setting it to the side. It is not used in this application. We're going to begin by inserting wires into the black mirror mating connector. Again, making sure you have the white lock unlatched. You're going to locate the male end of the wires. You can see there is a proper way to insert this. There's a little nub down at the bottom here. That needs to face down towards the white lock. Locate your red wire with blue tracer and place it into slot 13. Slot 13, if you're looking at it from the rear, is in the bottom right-hand corner. So you're just going to take that and slide it all the way forward. If necessary, you can use a 90-degree pick to help scoot it in. Locate the blue wire and place it into slot 1. Slot 1 is in the top right-hand corner, if you're looking at it from the rear with the white lock facing down towards the rear. Locate the short black wire included in your kit, insert it into slot 5. Slot 5 is located in the top row, one over from the left. Perform a visual inspection to make sure all the pins came through the small slots in the connector. In this case, it is good. Using your hand, slide the white lock back into position. If this will not lock down, more than likely your pins are not slid all the way forward. Locate the wire in slot 11. Slot 11 is directly beneath the solid black wire you just inserted into slot 5. Locate that wire in slot 11, in this case it's a solid black wire, and cut it a couple inches back from the black mirror mating connector. Strip both ends of the wire you just cut from slot 11. Strip the end of the wire you inserted into slot 5 from the Boost Auto Parts harness. Take the wire from slot 5 as well as slot 11, twist them together and put them into one end of the butt connector. Crimp the butt connector down. Place the one wire leading into the rest of the door harness into the other side of the butt connector and crimp it down. Apply heat to the butt connector. Using a straight pick or a small screwdriver, carefully poke through this rubber grommet. Put your wires through the hole in the grommet that you just cut. Pull the slack through. Run a firm piece of metal through the boot leading towards the gray door jamb connector, then tape your two wires to it. In this case, we're using a straightened out coat hanger. Carefully pull the coat hanger straight up towards the gray door jamb connector so that the wires come with it. Remove the wires from your piece of metal. Locate this little pink lock at the bottom of the connector and using a flat blade screwdriver, press up on it. It will move slightly, which will allow the pins to be inserted. Now you want to guide your wires up through the pink lock. Make sure you are not on the outside of it. So we'll guide the wires straight through this middle hole here on the lock. We're going to be entering these terminals into the gray door jamb connector. The orientation of the terminals is very important. The crimp needs to face down towards the pink lock. Take your red wire with a blue tracer and insert it into slot 41. These connector pins are labeled. It should slide all the way forward, just like so. These terminals cannot be removed without a special tool, so take extra precaution to ensure you're entering them into the proper location. Then, you're going to take the blue wire and insert it into slot 3. Slot 3 is located all the way down at the bottom, right where the wires enter the connector. Using your finger from the top of the connector, press this pink lock down. Using electrical tape, tape over the harness connecting the wires to the existing harness straight over, right like so. Reinstall all parts in the reverse order. Then, line up the gray door jamb connector with the mate in the cab. Once it's lined up and pushed together, you can slide the pink lock 90 degrees forward and all the way up, and that should lock it into place. Once done, latch the black connector, then slide the top together and it will latch on.
Plug in the mirror connector to the door harness. Reinstall the window and mirror trim panel. Push the trim clips into place for the window and mirror trim cover. Make sure the gray latch is at 90 degrees on the door panel door harness connector. Plug in the door harness connector and close the gray latch, then lock the red locking tab. Install the door handle cable by putting the cable into the holder, then pulling back on the plastic locking tab and sliding it into place. Put the door lock lever back into place on the door panel and press the door panel onto the door, snapping all of the trim clips back into place. Screw in the 7mm bolt behind the door handle. Insert the trim panel back behind the door handle. Screw in the 7mm bolt in the door armrest. Screw in the two 7mm bolts into the door grab. Insert the trim panel into the door grab. Screw in the two 7mm bolts at the bottom of the door panel. If you originally had power fold, your installation is now complete. You can reinstall the armrest trim cover. If you did not originally have power fold, review the following for how to install the power fold switch. Next, remove the four 7mm bolts holding the window switch bezel in place. With a trim removal tool, remove the window switch bezel. Unplug the three connectors holding the window and mirror switches in. Press down on the upper tab on the black connector and pull straight back to remove it. On the middle connector, release the red locking tab, and then press down on the black tab and pull the connector straight back. Press down on the tab on the gray connector and pull it straight back to remove it. With a trim removal tool, undo the four locking tabs around the mirror switch to remove it from the bezel. Taking your new power adjust switch with the power fold button, snap it into place on the window switch bezel. Plug the connectors for the mirror and window switches back in. Reinstall the window switch bezel. Screw in the four 7mm bolts for the window switch bezel. Reinstall the door armrest trim panel. Just like that, your installation of your new Boost Auto Parts power folding sports mirrors is now complete. Your mirror should power fold, have turn signal on glass, and a puddle light. To get all the parts shown in this video, please visit our website at boostautoparts.com. Boost Auto Parts offers a wide range of tow mirrors, parts, and accessories for trucks and SUVs. Check us out at boostautoparts.com.